Amoxliatl is considered an entry-level boss, just like Scurious the Rat King. This means she can be defeated by most players. In this guide, I will go over the requirements needed, the optimal setup for max players and lower-level beginners, how to get there, all the notable stats of the boss. I will go over the fight mechanics and breakdown, designed to make it as easy as possible. Then some more advanced tips for when you start getting comfortable with the boss and want to min-max. And most importantly, how much gold you can expect to make. Everything will be timestamped below, so feel free to skip to the sections that interest you the most. With all that said, let's hop in. There are a few quests that you must complete before taking on this boss. The first is Children of the Sun, which is a very short quest. Completing that one unlocks the next quest, Twilight's Promise, which is a bit longer. Completing both of those quests will unlock the big one, the Heart of Darkness, which will introduce you to the boss to complete the quest. This quest requires players to have 55 mining, 48 thieving, 48 slayer, and 46 agility. I would also recommend that your strength and attack skills be at least level 60. Defense doesn't matter as much because if you play the fight perfectly, you can avoid all damage. Also, 37 prayer is needed to protect from magic, ensuring you do not take any damage every time she autos. With the requirements out of the way, let's get into the setup. For low-level players or players who don't have a big bank, this is what you should bring. Berserker's Helmet, Amulet of Glory, Fire Cape, Rada's Blessing, Dragon Mace, Monk Robes top and bottom, your best defender, Combat Bracelet, Climbing Boots, and an Explorer's Ring. This setup will only cost roughly 110,000 gold and still puts a beating on this boss. For the inventory, bring 1 Divine Super Combat Potion, around 7 Restores or Prayer Potions, and a handful of food just in case. A teleport out is always recommended, and the Pendant of 8s is needed to get to the boss. You can obtain one from the boss, or if you want to get one before starting, you can kill the little ones just outside. It does require Frozen Tears to be charged, which are dropped by creatures in the ruins or the boss itself. For max players with a big bank, this is what you should bring. Inquisitor's Helm, Hauberk, and Plate Skirt. Infernal Cape, Amulet of Torture, Scythe of Vitur, Avernic Defender, Rada's Blessing, Ferocious Gloves, Primordial Boots, Ultra Ring, and Burning Claws for spec. This setup currently costs close to 2 billion gold. Your inventory will consist of a teleport in and out, a rune pouch with cosmic blood and fire runes, and the Book of the Dead to summon thralls. All the setup information can be found on the wiki on this chart right here, so upgrade or downgrade in whatever slots you can to optimize this setup for your bank value and player level. Don't get too hung up on your gear though, because I tested it and you can kill this boss with absolutely nothing equipped. It only takes 6.5 minutes and a whole arena being covered in spikes, but it is manageable. The best way to get there is the Pendant of 8s. It has a teleport called Twilight's Temple, which will teleport you just outside of the ruins. Once you run in, head straight west and the boss room is not far off. Before obtaining the pendant though, the best way is to use the Quetzal transportation system. Going to Salvage or Overlook is the fastest, but you must build the landing site first. If you don't have it built, fly to Quetzal Gorge and pass the large gate following this path. Let's go over the...
I am Amoxliatl, and am the guardian of these ruins. My stats are as follows. I have 520 hit points with a standard max hit of 22, but if you miss the protection prey on my Icicle Crash ability, then you can expect a whopping 34 damage. I attack every 8 ticks per 4.8 seconds, and if you manage to defeat me, well, it doesn't really matter because I respawn in 29 ticks or 17.4 seconds. My highest defense is against ranged attacks, so it is advised to bring something else. My second highest defense is against magic, though I am weaker to fire spells if you choose that path. Most adventurers decide to use melee against me, but they choose the attack option Crush, because it is my lowest defensive stat. I am immune to poison, venom, freezes, and cannonballs, so don't even try. Now that you know everything about me, let's see what you got.
Amoxliatl has 3 different attacks, which are all completely avoidable, so if you fight the boss to perfection, you will never take damage. Her auto attack is a mage attack that can be blocked by praying Protect from magic. Along with her auto attack, she sends out ice spikes from the ground. There will always be one to spawn under the spot you are standing, forcing you to move. The one that spawns where you stand also leaves spikes on the ground that damage you if you ever step on them again. I always like to have my mouse ready to move 2 tiles away because typically the spikes will spawn near where the player is. If you fail to get out of the way, you can expect to take 6 to 10 damage. Her second attack is called Unstable Ice. She will send out anywhere from 1 to 4 blocks of ice that can be destroyed by the player. The attack is indicated by the blue text and the fact that no spikes will come out of the ground. The blocks can be destroyed fast, no matter how slow of a weapon you have. Once destroyed, they will leave behind little spikes to stay on the ground for the rest of the fight. It is worth noting that they can only be damaged by melee attacks, so do not try ranged or magic. If the blocks are not destroyed within 9 seconds, they will explode, leaving behind many ice spikes and healing the boss 16 to 25 hit points per block exploded. Her final attack is called Icicle Crash. She will disable all active prayers and launch an icicle directly at you. This red text will pop up indicating when it is happening and the fact that no spikes will come out of the ground. All you have to do for this attack is have your quick prayer set up to protect from magic and piety or any other offensive prayer you use, and click it back on before the ice hits you. If you fail to do so, you can expect to take massive damage. The optimal strategy for this fight is to be ready to step back 2 tiles every time she sends out icy spikes. Once you step back, you are able to click on the boss again, walking you and the boss forward 1 tile each to resume attacking on a good tile. For the fastest kills, it is recommended to use weapons with multiple hit splats, such as the Scythe, Dual Macchiatos, or Glacial Tamales. So, if you can afford one of these, while keeping the rest of your gear the same, it is the best upgrade to make. Also, if you do happen to take damage from the boss, the best time to eat is right after taking out the ice blocks. Doing it at this moment won't lose you a tick, allowing you to go right back into hitting the boss without wasting any time. Here's a full unedited kill with lower gear to show all the mechanics and fight breakdown from the start to finish. This is all the loot that she can drop. Each kill, she rolls 2 drops from her drop table and 1 roll of the Frozen Tears. On average, a kill is going to earn you 17,800 gold. For higher level players with the most optimal gear, you should easily be able to kill the boss 38 times per hour, which sees a profit of 555,000 gold. Using the Scythe charges will cut in a profit, but I'm not going to do the math on it. Just keep that in mind. For the lower level players, you should expect to kill the boss about 23 times per hour, which sees a profit of 230,000 gold. Remember, this all depends on gear and player level, so do some testing for yourself to see the average profit you can expect. This boss also has a pet, which drops at 1 in 3,000. Funny enough, while making this guide, I ended up getting a pet, which puts me at 49 pets and 1 step closer to my journey to collecting them all. So there it is, an overall guide to Amoxliatl. If I missed something, please share it in the comments below so the other players can benefit from it. Also, if you enjoyed or learned something new, please leave a like, as it helps support the channel and shows me what you'd like to see more of. Subscribe for more similar content, and if you want to know how to make some gold in an AFK fashion, click one of these videos right here.